We all work together all the time, but it was just more visible. You never see it on the scale that all of a sudden we were dealing with because you had so many people without answers for problems. The morning after the tornado, the clinic was closed because we didn't have power. In the same time that I'm trying to come up with a plan, we get calls from 2 organizations. Community Foundation calls us and they just say, hey, we're checking on all of our organizations that we work with. How are you? Are you okay? Can we do anything to help? And then it dawned on me, oh gosh, we have vaccines. And what if we lose them because we don't know how long we're gonna be without power? Probably within an hour, I get another call from Tito's. The rep, Kelsey, calls me, how are you? What do you need? How are you doing? And I'm like, we're trying to figure out our vaccine problem. And they figure out that there's a partner like right here in Lebanon that's only a couple of miles away. And we get this all worked out, even though like nobody's open and there's no power, like they still get with us. And so that was kind of the start of this just reminder of no matter what goes on in this community, we always have people that are willing to help. No matter what the need is, we can figure something out. Because COVID came so quickly after, we all of a sudden had funding for one disaster, but not the other. So when we had that shift, Kelsey reaches out and says, okay, let me talk to corporate, let's figure this out. And she did. She very quickly just said, okay, what's your biggest need? And I was like, emergency vet care. So that's where Tito stepped in, and all of a sudden we were able to take care of any need that came our way. We were able to say, yes, we can help. Whether it was tornado impacted or COVID impacted, we had a lifeline.
You have animals that are in need, whether it's spaying, neuter, or just, being up to date on shots and just, everyday procedures. And so with so many people being out of work and needing to get these things done for their animals, they've really stepped up in that aspect and probably stepped a little bit out of their comfort zone and what they're used to, but that's what they do in order to serve their community. There's so many groups out there and everybody wants to do good by animals. It's rare that I find a group that really just goes above and beyond the way that New Leash on Life does. And I'm so thankful for having somebody like that in our community.
It was chaotic in the beginning. Lots of people never thought they would need help and were afraid to ask for help. And we wanted to get that out there and just say, look, it's not a bad thing. Everybody needs help sometime. And so we made sure that with other groups and partnering with a bunch of other things, we were able to get the help out there that we needed.
We started with, you could come to us to get food or we could deliver it to you. We had some people that were really appreciative of having food delivered, and we had other people that still weren't coming. So I reached out to a friend that I knew in the Watertown area and I said, hey, can you put feelers out? And because she posted in the Watertown local pages and everybody knew her, then more people came out and said, I really could use some extra help.
So we lined the lane up and down with dog food and cat food. So that everybody, when they came up, we sent them up the lane, went to where their name was, put their stuff in their car. We were directing traffic in and out, and it was just, oh my word, it was amazing. And then you realize how many people really need stuff like this, because you can't get out. You can't do, things you normally do in this day and age. And people were so appreciative, so thankful. We had individuals that were just hugging us and crying and saying, you just don't know. But a gentleman that we had in this area was Mr. Jackie Tyree, and he is just the sweetest man. And everybody calls him Pa Jack. Well, his granddaughter, Amy Tyree, that I've known since she was born, called me and said, Miss Sarah said, can I get some food for Pa Jack's cats? And I said, well, sure, honey, come on down. I said, how many cats does he have? And she said, well, he has 14. 14? And she said, yes. She said, well, now we had to take him to the nursing home, and we don't want to get rid of him because that's the only thing that he remembers. And so she came down, she got him cat food for his 14 cats. But that was just one of the stories that, in the process of giving out dog and cat food, that we heard.
SCAN is an acronym for Senior Citizens Awareness Network. It's a program that's been in existence for a little over 18 years with the Sheriff's Department, and it addresses needs of our seniors out in the county.
Initially, when this happened and we began to have restrictions in place as to how to visit our seniors, we very quickly learned that a lot of them are alone and their companion is their pet, be it a cat or a dog. So their first concern is, I want them fed first and then worry about me second. So when Sarah called and said, hey, New Leash on Life has availability for dog and cat food, do you need any? We were excited to be able to offer that. There were many tears shed when we said, hey, don't worry about it. We're going to take care of that. It was just another stress that was gone. Being connected to New Leash on Life has been just an amazing connection.
Every need that we've seen come along, there's been someone to help with it. Between people in the community, people at national level, people at every level, everybody was doing something to try to help.
It goes back to the core beliefs of myself as well as my staff that it is very important to give back. When New Leash might have been booked or were unable to do some of the routine procedures that they normally do so well because of the tornado or the COVID situation, we tried to step in as much as we possibly could. There were so many pets in need for not only routine services, but very sick animals throughout this entire time. And so we have continued to provide the services that were necessary, because it really takes a community of people who care about animals to try to keep as few animals as possible from falling through the cracks.
We got the email on Thursday from the city, and it said, that this church was doing this food distribution. So I called the pastor and I said, we'd love to help. Is that okay? And he said, absolutely. And so we pulled together as much food as we could from not just our food bank, but surrounding food areas, and we started bagging it up. We are headed to Wilson County Fairgrounds here in Lebanon, Tennessee. As far as we know, this is a no address restrictions, no income restrictions event. So anyone that's in need that's in this area or surrounding area is welcome to come get help. And that's part of what we liked about this was sometimes people are in hard situations and nobody knows and they're not sure where to go ask for help. So something like this where anyone is welcome, you wind up meeting people or reaching out to people that normally wouldn't have a chance to get some assistance. This wet food was made possible through Greater Good. The cat food was made possible through Alley Cat Allies, and the dog food was actually made possible through private donors that just loved the fact that this was going on and wanted to help, because people recognize the need and are just glad it's getting distributed to families that do need it. And so we've been amazed at the turnout and the support for the pantry program during this trying time.
Yeah, this has been so fabulous. We've partnered with one of the local churches that are giving out food to people who need it, about a week's worth of supply, and we're asking if they have dogs and cats at home, and if they do, then we're supplying them with dog and cat food.
It's sad to see how long the lines are, but it's exciting to see the community coming together like it has to try and support those that are in need. And we wish we could do more of these, and we're hoping that we can do a lot more to try and support everyone through this time of struggles.
I think as a whole, we don't realize that a lot of people just really don't have a lot. And for us to be able to contribute and to give out food and to help, it's an honor to be here.
This very small idea just kept growing and getting outside of the scope of people that I knew. I had friends Venmo me, and then I had their friends that I've never met Venmo me so I could go buy dog food and cat food. But it was literally complete strangers who had never heard of our organization, had never heard of what we do, but they recognized a need and just trusted that we were going to take care of folks, and that's what we've tried to do.
Just walking a dog or going to clean a cat cage or giving $5 to New Leash on Life and saying, put this towards somebody's care. $5 can do a lot. I think people might think that if they have hundreds or thousands of dollars, that's what everybody needs, but every dollar makes a huge difference.
We don't have income restrictions or address restrictions, any of that. If we can help, we want to. And if you need something, we will do what we can to help.